Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Ellis the Elephant here, as always in the Elephant's Corner. Beautiful Dallas day, sun shining on New Year's Eve. Okay, so we're bringing in the new year with amazing educational stuff. I'm gonna start bringing more educational people in for podcasts on crypto. Y'all know we got the fitness podcast with Get Sturdy with Verdi. So we're just trying to, develop this culture here and push forward like just great stuff for y'all to consume. But yeah, so we have an amazing guest from Linea, okay? Matthew LaRose. Matthew, how you doing today?
Doing awesome. I'm super excited to be here. I love the background. If you don't see the setup here and you're just listening, this is amazing Dallas view. So yeah, super excited. I love that we're grinding like the last day of the year. Everyone's probably getting chocolate wasted right now, but we're like grinding, talking about blockchain, educating. So we're sowing good seeds heading into the new year. So very excited to be here.
Love that. Yeah, dude. Education is first and foremost the most important thing to me with the blockchain because nobody understands it. Hang on, let me turn my phone on to not stir. Nobody understands it that I talk to with my friends that aren't in crypto. I know y'all are doing a lot of stuff. Y'all been hosting so many events, being so engaged with the Dallas community. You want to just give me a little backstory on yourself, who Matthew is, how you fell in love with the blockchain and made it your everyday life.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been working in the space for 5 years. Surprisingly enough, I first started off in Bitcoin mining when the gold rush of like miners getting banned in China and coming over here to Texas Grid. And then I started doing stuff with meme coins and DeFi. Then that kind of graduated to I was working in the exchange space. So
nice.
Crypto and Web3 is already like a bunch of smoke and mirrors, but the crypto exchange space is definitely the definition of that. And then for about the last year or so, I've been hosting meetups for a company called Consensys. They're the parent company, the MetaMask. So I did a
Not to get confused with the Consensys conference, totally different.
Yeah, that's always confusing when I tell people I do events for a Consensys. They're like, "Oh, I love that conference." I was like, "Oh no!" Like the parent company MetaMask. Like, "Oh, yes."
They're like, "Oh, even bigger."
Yeah, even bigger. Wow. I'm like, "Oh." But yeah, so I did stuff at a local level. Consensys moved their headquarters from New York to Fort Worth.
Nice.
So they wanted to like help support the Web3, DFW community. So I did that for about a year. Now I've trying to transitioned over to doing business development for their Layer 2 blockchain on Ethereum Linea, but I'm still hosting the meetups to keep it going. Kind of what you mentioned. Obviously, my meetups are like networking and educational, and a lot of like professionals that are in the space come out. But I always approach the meetups like what's best for the new person is best for the overall meetup. Because if we all want our bags to be bigger or just the space to be bigger, it's like what are we doing to onboard
the next gen?
Next gen, yeah. And you touched it. Outside of ETH Denver, Consensys Conference in Austin is by my second favorite conference. Yeah. But even then, some of the tickets prices, if you sign up last minute, are like $1,200.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Or you can give them your Bitcoin and make it cheaper. But come on, people.
Yeah, we got to stack those sats. We got to hold on to our own.
I'm not giving you my coins for a ticket.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, how do we onboard new people? Like, the average person is probably going to spend $1,200. Like, even me personally, I'd rather have $1,200 of Bitcoin or crypto myself.
Definitely. So media pass.
Absolutely.
Is what I learned. You get a media pass, then they either discount it or they're free.
One of the things I've always done as a side hustle, there's a lot of companies that want to send someone there, so I do BD work for them or create content.
Nice.
Heck, so my first Consensys conference 2 or 3 years ago, actually 3 years ago, I volunteered. I served at the help desk. What was wild about that story was I was a volunteer and they put me in charge of like paid employees because they like did some like staffing needs for the event. But so many people weren't educated about blockchain.
And you were.
Yeah, but that one event, I served 4 days. 10-hour days each day with no pay and only got 2 days of free at the conference. But that's where during that time I connected with a person from Deepcoin Exchange. Boom. And that led to my next job. Dude. So not just crypto, whatever industry you're interested in, if there's a conference or something, if you want it bad enough.
If you want it bad enough, you'll do stuff for free, bro. I've been doing this for free for the past freaking 7 months, dude. I just want it bad enough. I find other ways of income, you know what I mean?
I love it.
But we did just lock in like a pretty big client for the studio. So going into the new year, it's looking up. getting really excited for that. So
Look forward to
Yeah.
sponsors. There you go.
yeah, sponsors, exactly. Maybe reach out to some crypto people, get y'all in here
Hey.
to sponsor, please. I know y'all got marketing money that y'all just throw out the window.
Absolutely. We're in a bull market.
Dude.
Come get minted on the blockchain. We got to come sign these checks over here. So absolutely.
Facts, dude. Facts, dude. Well, let's jump back to like what you first said about smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to touch on that.
Okay.
Your opinion on how the blockchain is smoke and mirrors, how sexes or dexes are more, smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, I mean, there's since there's not clarity on like regulation, and one of the pros of blockchain and crypto is it's 24/7. It's not like the stock market where you only can win during this certain time frame that we tell you. But if we are accredited investors or we're like hedge funds, we can do pre-market hours and post-market hours. So the beautiful thing about the blockchain is it's more free market in the sense that everyone has a chance to win 24/7. There's different currencies. It's like markets all over the world and not just limited to the U.S. Even though U.S. is a huge economy and part of the world economic system, but
it's not the whole thing.
Yeah,
and that's what I tell people.
Absolutely. So the blockchain it brings a lot of pros, but since there's like a lack of education, lack of regulation in a lot of areas, there's a lot of bad actors in this space. So when it comes to the exchange space, when I told people there's so much, the term is called wash trading. Basically, that's just faking buy orders and sell orders.
So increase the volume.
Absolutely. So if you're listening to this and you don't know kind of like the gold standards of exchanges, like if you're a project and you launch a token, you want to be listed on Coinbase, you want to be listed on Binance and Robinhood. Like those three and Crypto.com maybe, but like those are like some of the top 5 like holy grails. Like if you get listed on one of those, your market cap overall in the long term is going to be very fruitful and very successful. But the path to get there is you either need to have a lot of money and have a really, really good brand, or you got to start off on a smaller tier exchange and kind of build up your market cap. So a lot of these tokens, they get listed on a tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 exchange. And what they try to do is these tier 1 and tier 2 exchanges, in order for them to list you, they need to see volume. They need to see trading. They need to see holders. Well, some of these smaller exchanges, heck, maybe even more popular than one might admit, a lot of these exchanges fake the volume to kind of to maybe manipulate and promote to maybe not smart retail, but retail like, oh, this token
it's getting
volume. Maybe I should check this out. So that's kind of how projects try to move up the coin market cap ranking is by trading volume. So yeah, smoke and mirrors. Yeah. One example is just wash trading.
And he mentioned holders, just so we don't skip past that real quick. He mentioned holders. That means individual wallets that have basically their own seed phrase and their own, cryptography that is minted on its like wallet area. And so that's what he means by holders. And also the wash trading with the holders is, somebody can make 1 million wallets.
Right.
At the end of the day, somebody can sit there, make 1 million wallets and hold one token that's 1 cent and then make it look like there's, 10,000 holders or whatever. So
yeah,
that's another form.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They could fake the volume just going from one wallet to another.
Wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. Not really cool, but it's part of it. Do you think regulation is going to help that and make it kind of stop, or you're looking for regulation to not really halter the growth of the industry and let it work itself out?
Yeah, I think regulation will only, at least for my projection for the next 5 to 10 year window, I think regulation will only affect like U.S. exchanges. Yep. When it comes to wash trading, you can't control what some of these other countries do, and as more people are onboarded, more people will realize that some of these exchanges some of these tokens might be bad actors. Actually, I don't even want to just bash exchanges. Sometimes the exchange might be super legitimate. I could tell you why. Let's be frank. CoinMarketCap is owned by Binance, so you probably have favorable rankings if you're listed on BNB as opposed to Ethereum or Solana.
Agreed.
So that's just one way of someone could say manipulation. But even if it's a legitimate exchange, they're doing everything by the book. There's a thing called market makers, which basically helps like with arbitrage price of a token between exchanges or between dexes. Well, a market maker might be faking orders. So it might not even be exchanges, but it might be the market makers. So when I say smoke and mirrors, it could be one wallet doing it. It could be the market maker. It could be the exchange itself. So that's why volume, kind of a good indicator is if if a token has hundreds of millions of volume, or just millions, let's say like a Mexi, and it has millions of volume on a Mexi, but you go to a Uniswap and it only does $200 for the day, that's probably a pretty good tell of like, oh, this is wash trading. Now, some of it might be harder to tell than that, but yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, cool. Well, so you work Consensys, your first thing, you got into an exchange, working for them and all that. What got you to the next step in your crypto journey after that?
Man, networking. So I've been a part of the meetup scene in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for the last 5 years.
Sweet.
But for the first 2 or 3 years, it was kind of more just support and helping whoever the host was. And then there was an awesome organization. There's a gentleman named Nick James. He had a nonprofit called Web3 Texas. He's kind of gone on to do his own thing with the AI space. But I served behind for like a year, helped him with his meetups. And back then, I can remember thinking, like, distinctly having the thought, I was helping, like there was one meetup where we had our biggest turnout. Yeah. And I sat at the table the whole time. Like, I was like, I work for a crypto exchange. My goal is to talk to projects, so get them listed on our exchange and make a commission. And I remember being frustrated because I spent the whole time at the booth or at the like check-in, because we had like 100 plus. I think we did like a Bitcoin pizza day or something. We had 100 plus people come, but I'm so grateful to Nick James and what Web3 Texas did, because I didn't realize behind the scenes I was learning so much that I would later apply to helping Consensys host meetups. And it gave me, I guess you could say credibility, but just the network. Literally when Consensys was doing the job interview, I didn't even remember applying to it. But like a month later, I did the interview, and I hadn't heard back from him in 3 weeks, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna reach back out, and I circled back to him. And one of the things I sent them, I was like, look, I'm your guy in Dallas. Normally, I don't like to try to sound cocky or like promote myself, but I was like, if you're
confident, you gotta go for it.
But I literally, all I did was I went back to Nick James's LinkedIn, and I just sent them like, this is the meetup I helped with. This was with me helping with TBC. So I learned a lot, and just from those meetups, there's so many like new people that come into the space, and you just hear so many horror stories of like, oh, I clicked on this link, I lost this money, I invested this XYZ. So that's part of one of my takeaways. Even though the low-hanging fruit for my meetups as far as like people to come is obviously Web3 professionals who are interested in networking or just want to meet other weirdos that like them. That like,
we are weirdos.
Yeah, but yeah, is the help to new people.
Yeah, I love that. You mentioned like the bad experience or whatever. I was at World Springs.
I'm not familiar
with like this place up in Frisco. It has like a bunch of different hot tubs of different geothermals all over the world. Pretty cool. But this guy, he was talking about Dogecoin, and he was telling these people, they were basically talking about investing, and they said they invested early in NVIDIA. Right. So they did pretty successful. And then this one guy was like, yeah, I bought like, with only a 2 times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he's sitting there and in the same sentence shitting on Doge because he bought Doge at the top last cycle.
Yeah.
And I was like, he was just shitting on it, how crypto was a scam and all that. And I said, dude, you're looking at it in a 2-year horizon.
Yeah.
If you did it in a 5-year, if you would have held that Doge instead of selling it at the bottom, you'd have your money back and maybe more.
Yeah.
It was just a funny, that's just what they think, They're like, oh, I'm okay with top blasting a stock that's up 50 times on the year, but Doge, I'm going to shit on it because I lost money.
Yeah. No, if you think about it, Bitcoin over the last 12 months keeps breaking all-time highs. It, I don't know, peaked at like 108,000. Yeah. It might be sitting in the 90s now. Yeah. But when Bitcoin's breaking all-time highs, there's not a person that could say they lost money on it if they just sold too soon.
Yes.
So, but there's always going to be like pullbacks with, I mean, I think Bitcoin's one of the best investments.
Dude, we went up 4 times on the year. More.
Yeah, so.
In a year.
No, that's crazy.
People, I posted the maximum chart, like the full Bitcoin chart the other day, and I said, and people are asking when the bull market's going to start. I'm like, brother, we are in all-time high price discovery.
Absolutely.
Ripping way above it, and you're asking when the bull market's in, you just own the wrong things.
Yeah.
So you need to reevaluate your positions.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
I'm kind of using this as an indicator just since I've like host meetups, but I remember what meetups were like 2-3 years ago.
That's what I was about to go to after this. So you're good. Roll into it. I want to know exactly the growth that you have seen?
So for me personally, hosting meetups, there was like the first 6 months. Kind of peaked at 25 people. Okay. Whether I told everyone and their moms to come, 25 people would come, or there was a month where I posted the link like 2 days before the meetup, and 25 people came. Nice. So like there was like a wall. Like kind of, I look at it like grassroots, similar to what you're doing. Like just when you first started having guest outs, just kind of getting the word out. You like throwing mud at the wall, see what sticks. But then I had a meetup with someone from the Hedera Foundation. And we had 50 people, and for whatever reason, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just the consistency or the proof
that was
of
your
like
breakout.
Yeah, the proof of putting 50 people in a room. So many people that were in Web3 asked to sponsor meetups. I got a lot of job offers or job inquiries from putting 50 people in a room. Solana,
that's a lot.
Yeah, well, Solana Foundation, I was in talks with them for a long time. Play code.
That's the one I went to.
Okay.
I went to the one where what's his name?
Oh,
you sat there and talked with them.
It'll come back to me.
He was like he was like high up in the Solana Foundation.
He heads up head of dev relations. Man, his name will come back to me. He's based in McKinney too.
Shout out to that guy. He's really smart. Learned a lot. That's at that meetup.
Yeah. Well, they finally came back to me after I'm like, oh, here's proof of look at the video. Pudding. Yeah, like it was so. But compared to like last cycle, I would say peaks. I've been to meetups. We've had meetups in the DFW area where we had like 150 people come to a Web3. So what I was kind of getting at, where you were mentioning, I'm seeing that we're having a lot of new people come to meetups. So I will say this is kind of like an indicator that retail is coming back. But I will say I don't think we're at a point where I'm like, all right, retail extra liquidity is coming back. Like I need to start selling now. I don't think it's pure euphoric just yet. Yep. But also we haven't seen a lot of other alts hit other all-time highs. But I will say it's hard to time the market perfectly or time the top. I will say if your grandma is asking you like which NFT to buy, stuff like that or if you're taking screenshots of your portfolio every single day, that might be not financial advice but friend advice. So maybe just take profits. Yeah.
I last cycle I tried to time the top, right? It was like my first real cycle in it. Tried to time the top. Didn't really time the top well, sold on the way down. This time I'm like, no, dude, I'm just going to sell on the way up, be happy, take profit. There's always another trade. Yeah. Like there's always another trade. There's always another thing. And I mean, now I'm ready. If we go back to 80 on a pullback, I'm like, I got some capital to deploy because I've been selling in price discovery.
I love that.
Yeah. So it's been fun this cycle. I learned a lot, dude. And I just want to educate people because I personally think that this is the future. It might not be the future of finance as we know it, whatever. I think it is. But just the blockchain in itself, being able to automate so much stuff, we can go back and check. I definitely think NFTs are going to be used to have an NFT with the Mona Lisa, with the Rolex, with all that. That's definitely going to happen. Because why not?
Absolutely.
If the technology is available to prove ownership in that way, why the fuck would we not do that?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So what's your opinion on that?
Well, I will say the reason why I love blockchain, I think kind of the common thread, you go to a conference or just talk to people in general. I think the appeal of Web3 and crypto is a common theme is everyone wants to improve their family financials future. Yep. So that's probably like a common reason why people come into this space. So the reason why I'm sold out to this space and like did a career change from bookkeeping and accounts receivable crunching numbers to this space is there's a lot of amazing asset classes, real estate, stock, gold. Like there's so many asset classes, but they have a lot of drawbacks that crypto adds value in. So real estate, amazing asset class to build wealth in, but the interest rates are so high for the average person, it could be tough. Stocks, if you're getting 8 to 10% return on the S&P, that's amazing. But I know inflation's cooled off a little bit, but if you look at the last 4 years, inflation's been pretty high. So like you're losing purchasing power there. Gold on in its history is like 2% since its existence. But also with Web3 and blockchain, me personally, I'm in my 30s, but I wasn't born in a time when real estate was being invented or stocks or gold. So like this is a new asset class being created
invented.
Absolutely. And it needs time to mature. So like
what is it?
15 years. But I'm saying even some of these cryptos haven't been around for 15 years. So when people talk about the peaks and valleys, I'm like, this asset class still has a lot of room to grow because it's new, but also it needs time to mature. I do think there might come a time 20 years from now, like Bitcoin might only go up 1 or 2%. I'm really saying that it might only
it's going to slow down.
Slow down, yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Now, so for me,
time.
blockchain is the best asset class, in my opinion, for the average person to get ahead.
Okay. I get behind that as well. That's my viewpoint on it because, okay, this is another thing. Gold, right? I got a bunch of gold in my house, right? What am I going to do if somebody comes and tries to attack me or my house is burning down, bro? Carry 300 pounds of gold on my back?
Yeah. Well, there's stories of like, I think it was a couple months ago, but Arnold Schwarzenegger, he like went to a different country and he had to pay a fine and he got stopped at the airport because his Rolex was worth, or his watch was worth over a certain amount. So like when it comes to gold, when it comes to cash, when it comes to like valuable items, you can't just go to another country. You have to I'm saying you
I
have
didn't
to
know that was a thing.
Yeah, you have to report it. Like think about if you go buy like a Prada or Gucci bag somewhere else and coming over here like to make a profit.
You're gonna have to.
Yeah, if it's worth over a certain amount of money, like you have to report that kind of stuff, or you get fined or jail.
Is it resale or what you bought it for?
Well, there's laws in certain countries where you can't even travel there with X amount of money.
Oh shit!
So like cash or Rolex, but like Bitcoin, crypto, it's borderless money. So
we use that shit on Mars.
Absolutely. Shout out to Elon.
Shout out to Elon.
Oh man,
Doge, please use Doge for Twitter, dude.
Yeah.
I mean X, whatever.
Yeah, pump my bags. I appreciate that.
My bags, appreciate you. Hey, he flipped to a Pepe.
I saw that.
And changed his name.
I saw that. I looked at Dex
stuff.
Screener like 2 hours later and saw all
One
these.
coin.
Yeah, I'm like
Up like 2,000%.
Like I should have bought some, but I'm like I don't know which one of these are the right ones. So
And we were
like,
talking about it at 8 a.m. and the coin was like, yeah. And then I looked back and I was like, well, we were talking about his profile. Why didn't we check?
Yeah.
You know how it is. I fade generational wealth every day. I love it.
I love that. That's a good tweet. That's a good tweet right there.
I love it, dude.
Every day.
Every day. Generational wealth slips through my hands. Sorry, mom and dad. Your house will be paid for soon enough.
We'll retire the bloodline one of these days.
God, one of these days I'll throw $10 on something and it'll run to a mill.
Oh, I sold Peanut. I don't even remember.
Peanut.
I don't know. I bought like $50 worth or $100 worth of Peanut. Made a little bit of money. Literally like 2 days later, Binance listing up like 100x. I was like, oh, well, missed out
on that.
But
yeah, I didn't buy Mog soon enough. Bonk is my best airdrop ever. I held the Bonk airdrop, so that actually was very nice.
Awesome.
Shout out Bonk.
Jupe's been my best.
Juperary is this month, people. You need to lock in. You need to check that out for Jupiter.com. I love their platform. That's where I do my perps trading at. And all that, have it staked, do their whole voting thing. I mean, they're trying to make it as decentralized as possible. I really appreciate it. So yeah, so tell me more about what y'all are doing on the layer 2 side for Ethereum. What y'all have coming for 2025? How like all of these changes to the main net have really affected y'all and stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. To be transparent, I get this question a lot in the sense of like, why layer 2s? Honestly, we have way too many layer 2s. So like, why Linea is the question I get. So I agree with that statement. There's probably way too many layer 2 blockchains. But one thing I will say is, so with Consensys having the branding that it does, partnership with MetaMask, some of the things that Linea is doing, like last week we had like so many announcements come out, and I'll go through them. So like the MetaMask debit card just went live in the US.
That's cool.
They've been live in Europe.
That's connected directly to your MetaMask.
Absolutely. So
it's selling it is okay. Just so we can hit this, is it selling ETH into USD and then that's a taxable, or do you have to have USDC?
So, right, the 3 tokens we have now is Wrapped Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDC.
Okay.
So those are currently the 3 cryptos that we have on the card.
Okay.
So most of these cryptos, they don't have it spendable. Like most of the time, like Crypto.com card, like so you have to like most people have to convert to USDC. So that's how it is now. Like on our card, you have to go to USDC or Ethereum or Wrapped Bitcoin.
Oh, that's cool though.
But in the future, kind of like what Base did, the narrative that they had a lot of success with is, hey, come speculate on our chain, have meme coins, maybe you'll get listed on Coinbase. Brett, one of their most successful meme coins, I don't know if they're listed on Coinbase just yet. So that base has been killing it with memes, but again, the narrative, well, kind of similar narrative, like there will come a time where meme coins and DeFi protocols, as our debit card gets rolled out in different areas, you'll be able to spend those tokens.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
but the main thing for Linea is if any project that wants to be spendable on the card, literally the first question is, are you deployed to Linea? So
Nice.
that's
okay.
that's some
Makes sense. Okay, so y'all came out with the debit card. You can spend wrap BTC, ETH, and USDC. What's the next announcement y'all got?
Just more markets that were coming out.
Okay.
Some of the basically more tokens to be spendable. We're having a portal come out, or we're having something being worked on. So the narratives that we're leaning into is payments. Obviously, with MetaMask being part of the Consensys family, they have 30 million monthly active users. So that's a powerhouse for distribution to help with us. So we're really doubling down on the payments narrative, and we're doubling down on the memes. So there's two. They kind of go back and forth, but for memes, we're basically going to have a portal where meme coins can basically put up APY and yield. So for everyone, and that's with the debit card, you get cash back. So potentially you can get cash back rewards in a specific meme coin. So with this portal, you can get rewards that way. And then our pitch to meme coins. So kind of back up. We just had Murad on one of our spaces a week ago, a live stream, and he's as of now, he's one of the top meme coin influencers. So that was a very
shout out me fading generational wealth from my boy. Shout out to Joe from Consensys. He showed me SPX and Aeon. I only bought one Aeon, so I missed out on generational wealth there once again, but it's okay. Every day.
Yeah. Yeah. I had someone tell me about SPX 6900 early, and I was like, I went to their website. I was like, what is this website? I was like, this website Schizo is this is garbage. I love the thought process of let's to be delusional enough to let's top the stock market.
I do like that.
I did like that, but I'm like this website. I don't know what the utility is. Then that sucker went up to 85 cents.
Huge.
And it came back down. I was like, I did get back in the 60, 70 cents range. So I hope SPX does something to crazy. So I'm in. Yeah. So I'm like, that's my narrative. I'm like, if Murad's pumping this and he's a holder, the key is you probably want to sell before some of those whales, but
definitely. But yeah, so you had Murad on the space. You're leaning more into memes.
Yeah, so kind of our pitch to meme coins is, hey, come speculate with us in the sense that the MetaMask debit card is going to bring millions of users to our chain. Yep. One of the things I love about MetaMask is, yes, they have a lot of success in their monthly active users. A lot of OGs from the 2017 and 22 cycle or 2020 cycle use MetaMask. But when I've there's a shout out to Daniel Lynch. He's killing it on the MasterCard. But having conversations with him, one of the things I loved is one of MetaMask's goals is to kind of bank the unbanked. Some of these markets they're going into is, yes, we're going to market to our own current base. You want to take the low hanging fruit, but they want to make crypto accessible to more people that don't have access to it. 3 months ago, I went on a trip to it was a Solana event. It was a Solana
Thailand
hackathon.
Or something like that.
Oh, it was in Argentina.
Okay. Oh, the Argentina one. That's right.
So what was cool about that was there's a lot of places that accept Tether and Bitcoin.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, well, there's parts of the world where their inflation is way crazier than the U.S. With Argentina, what's nuts is if you have U.S. dollar, it's hard to spend it at an everyday shop, but people save in U.S. dollars. So if you need a building, a car, or need a house, any purchases, they save in U.S. dollars. So that's why we're as a country, we're able to get away with probably a lot more than we should because other countries save in our currency because it's more stable than others. Well, in Argentina, they have this thing called cuevos, where they their currency fluctuates all the time, where they have to trade for their currency. So with crypto
more like barter system. They gotta revert back to barter. Okay.
But the appeal of crypto is people can get jobs in crypto, make way more, get paid in more of a stable currency than whatever currency Argentina has. And so I was just saying
The use of the MasterCard.
Yeah, the use of the debit card.
I mean the debit card.
Yeah, the debit card. Well, it's partnered with MasterCard. Shout out to them.
Shout out MasterCard.
Thanks for pumping our bags.
Bring in the in sales.
But yeah, just there's a huge need in the world to bank the unbanked in a way.
There is.
So,
dude, that's the biggest thing. I mean, that is crypto. It's borderless, like you said earlier. Banking the unbanked, because I mean, there's places. I have a really good Angolan friend. They use stuff there. Nigerian friend as well. They use crypto there. I have been saying for a really long time, Nigeria is going to be way ahead of the world whenever it comes to crypto.
Yeah,
y'all better watch out. That's some.
I'm making notes. I'm investing in the Nigerian tech companies. Yeah.
Dude, they're tech savvy over there too.
Yeah,
you know, they be killing it.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna bring her up.
Oh,
it was that Wow Vicky girl. Did you see her whole thing with the Nigerian?
No, I didn't.
She like made a joke that they captured her and they were holding her hostage.
Oh wow.
So people started saying like Nigeria was a horrible place.
Oh man.
Terrible, and then she had to come out and be like,
I was
just joking.
Oh man.
I was like, why are you joking about that?
Well, maybe was she playing a joke on like the Nigerian prince of like?
Yeah, it might have been some. Yeah,
no,
that makes sense.
That scam's kind of been around a long time, so.
Dude.
Yeah.
People are funny. Yeah, but no. So the MasterCard debit card with MetaMask. Been a MetaMask user. Do you think that the UI is getting better? I don't really think so. Are they working on that? It's really whenever it comes to using like. So sometimes I had to link my MetaMask and my Phantom at the same time on a platform, and it kind of gets all funky. Are they working with Phantom or Solana projects to make it more user-friendly, better UX, you know?
So to my knowledge, don't, I guess, take my word.
No quotes.
Everyone
no quotes.
do your own research.
No
to my
quotes.
knowledge, I think Solana is going to be on our mobile wallet in Q2 of next year. We do have a thing called MetaMask Snaps, which for web browser, Solana, you can use Solana integration. So actually, that was one of like our fastest performing snaps, like installs and downloads when like Solana was like $50-$60. So like kind of like when you can kind of see like the MetaMask Snaps downloads of like which chain is doing integrated. But yeah, MetaMask has done a very good job of like say like Ethereum. Ethereum has like the most dApps, the most DeFi protocols, and like most things you can do as of now. So like the MetaMask wallet has kind of been a perfect fit for that because MetaMask wallet you can do more things. But yes, they're looking at improving the UI because Phantom has done a really good job of onboarding like new users. Keep Rabby wallet.
I told this Hooters waitress.
Oh wow.
I was like, if you download Phantom right now, I'll send you 5 times what I was gonna tip you.
Wow.
Downloaded it, sent it to her. Did not tell her how to sell the Phantom, or the Solana, do anything. I was like, you just hold this for a couple of years, and learn about it and do this. And she's like, okay, I don't know. Shout out to you if you're watching this. Hope you're still holding that Solana. It's down right now, but that's okay. It's gonna go back up.
Up only here.
Up only. Okay.
No
up
one has a
right.
leverage trade right now on the 100x Solana longing.
I actually, I got burnt on that last dip, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I was bullish. And then it wasn't bullish,
man.
But it's okay, dude.
Yeah,
we make it back. Make it back. Styro Steve came out of nowhere. I don't know if you saw that one. It was a funny meme where it was like a styrofoam head, and he was gluing his girlfriend's hair.
Man, love memes.
The thing people come up with is an unbelievable.
Absolutely.
As KT would say, but no, man. So. I want to know more about like the friends you made along the way. Like, what do you think was like the most beneficial connection you made that just like started off as like friendship? Really, you never really saw anything from it, and then you got like a position open or an opportunity happened.
Ooh, that's a tough question. I don't know. I've made a lot of good friends along the way.
You travel the world with this, right? This job that you have.
So funny enough, I finally got my passport like 4 or 5 months ago. Okay. Honestly, I've had a lot of opportunities to travel overseas over the years, but I just didn't have my passport, so I missed out on stuff. Looking back on it,
you're like, dang it.
Yeah, dang. So I've been. I've probably been to 10 to 12 crypto conferences this year, and I went to Thailand for DevCon, and then I went to Argentina for the Forma City Solana event 3 months ago. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of traveling. I don't know. There's just been a lot of different people along the way that have been pivotal in me, like transitioning companies or just opening different opportunities. And what I will say, it all stems back from meeting someone at a conference or networking at a local meetup.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell you so many different stories of just how that one person, I'm like, oh, I don't even think that person is going to be in this space that long.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Have you met a gentleman named Ryan Bitters?
Not yet. I don't remember that last name. Maybe I did.
So he's an example of someone that went to Dallas-Fort Worth meetups for a whole year, and I went to meetups for a year, never even had a conversation with him. Then I had a conversation with him. He introduced me to a project called Chia blockchain, and they were the first token I got listed on Deepcoin Exchange when I worked for them.
Wow.
So he just did his first intro to me. I got like, $1,200 commission check and a job out of one intro that he made. But Ryan is one of those people, like, he's so connected to the real estate space and so many other spaces where I've been able to leverage that friendship for so many doors from just meeting one person at a meetup. But Ryan, I mean, I don't know if Ryan's listened to this, but like a year, like if my first impression of Ryan, I'm like, I didn't know he had that network. Ryan has a way better network than me. And I would have never known that until I like actually had a conversation with them. So just, you never know. Sometimes it's people that are a little bit quieter and don't have to brag and project to the world.
It's literally those people that you need to be talking to.
Absolutely.
What about bald head people? Have you seen a confluence with successful people and them being bald?
I will say, you can quote this Twitter, I am bullish on baldness.
Okay, so yeah. Every single bald person, okay, let's start off with like my first kind of like learning mentor. Never met the guy or anything. His name's Brian. Dang, why am I forgetting his last name? But he does Build Your Financial IQ.
Okay.
That's his platform. He has podcasts. Dude, if you need to run a business or learn anything about finances, you listen from episode 1 to whenever he's at right now, and you're going to go over accounts payable, receivable, how to do everything.
Man.
So I was working, I was doing land surveying before this. And that's what I started doing a second job because I was like, I want to stack bread because I want to start doing. Well, this is the bear market. So I was like, I need to be buying.
Awesome.
Buying as much as possible right now. Okay. So I got a second job. I was picking up trash at apartments, the valet service thing.
Yes.
Because I wanted to get in shape and I wanted to make more money. And I was like, I'm going to run these apartment complexes, pick up trash, run stairs, and make more money. Kill 2 birds in one stone and buy more crypto.
Wow, I love that. I feel like you should. I don't know if I haven't listened to all your episodes. I feel like you should go more in depth on that because you'd be surprised how many people in this Web3 space struggle to get a job in the space. But also for me, for the last 5 years that I've been working in the space, only 1 year of it has actually been full time and not worked a second job. The first 3 years, I worked an accounts receivable job. But outside of that, outside of working an accounts receivable job, working for a part-time crypto company or stuff on the side, I did a thing called Winolo app. It's like a job app. So I worked so many UFC or FC Dallas soccer games.
Anything, dude.
Just so I could buy the dip. Or
buy the dip,
or just dollar cost average.
Because I was making plenty of money. I was saving a lot with my first job, the land surveying. I was working like 60 hours a week. I mean, I was tired as shit.
Yes.
Okay, but look what I can have now.
Absolutely.
Because I worked hard for a year. Okay, so I listened to that podcast every day.
Man.
While I was running, learning. Trying to I was reading books. I set a goal for myself to read like 10 books, 15 books that year. All of them were either like, along the lines of like, the old ancient Chinese books to financial books. I just like wanted to read a plethora. It was just like, dude.
Who was your favorite content creator to listen from, consume information from?
Brian.
Okay.
Definitely. He was just very easy to listen to. But let's say crypto-wise, Dude, I hate listening to crypto people,
Really?
especially
Okay.
Spaces.
Okay, Twitter
because
Spaces.
it just comes out to me as like always shilling your bags,
Yeah.
always a thing. I'm not even gonna name them, but I used to listen to this space every day. I really liked them, and then it just like became more of like, I'm listening to mainstream media again. You're just telling me stuff about the sponsors that are sponsoring your show. And I mean, I could fucking buy you out to talk about me for 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's the tough part, because what you're doing is very special, because we need so much education in this space. But unfortunately, education is not the most monetizable thing, or it's not the thing with the most monetization. So we have a lack of education in this space, because the people that have fruit on the tree, or the people that might be good at that, they're doing other things.
Yeah. With NFT projects, okay? Back in 2021, my biggest thing for them was, y'all need to be putting out content of how people stay safe and have some kind of teacher thing. Like, this is what we need to be doing right now. And, you know, they never want to put money towards that. Maybe the money dries out. Maybe this, you know, it's not going to produce the views.
Yeah.
Okay, well, guess what? It doesn't produce the views now, but the guy who did a introduction video on this Roadcaster, right? Whenever he did it 5 years ago, it probably only had 10,000 views, but now it has 5 million views.
Wow.
Because more people are using the Roadcaster.
I love it.
It's just...
So, fun story, the Argentina trip I went on. So, my YouTube channel has got 40 subscribers. Nothing crazy, but sometimes...
we're going to pump those numbers. We're going to pump those numbers, people.
Yeah, pump my bags. Appreciate that.
We're going to shill his socials at the end.
Yeah, absolutely love that. But for the time, like, part of the reason I would create content is, like, if I got the same question over and over again, I'm like, all right, let me make a video, send people there,
Boom.
Bam, save me time, and maybe get a subscriber too. Well, there was a community, there was a project on Solana, Sharkify. They're like the #1 NFT
the lenders.
Yeah, NFT lending. Yep. Well, like, I've just been part of the community. Well, I got so many questions on, like, how do you get yield on a JPEG image? So I was like, all right, let me create I created a video on how to, like, get passive income, or just how to make money using their NFT. And still to this day, probably only 100 views, 40 subscribers on YouTube, nothing crazy. But a year and a half later, Sharkify was going to this event in Argentina. They didn't have anyone to speak on their behalf. Who did they ask to go? They sent me. They blessed me. Shout out Sharkify.
Shout out Sharkify. I don't use y'all, haven't used y'all, known about y'all for 3 years, but I'll look into it now. Yeah. Respect the game.
Pump my bags. Pump my
I will
NFTs.
not be buying. I hate lending NFTs.
No.
That's one of my. I will touch on that after the story. Okay.
Love it. But anyways, that's just an example of how I got a covered trip to Argentina just by creating content that only got 100 views.
A year ago.
Yeah, a year ago. With the struggle for me personally, that I've had with content creation is there's not a lot of instant gratification. It's a grind.
Nope.
There might be some people might get lucky and their first video might go bonkers, but for me, it's never been the case. So, like, the people I do, like, respect, like, content creators and the fact that, like, that have fruit on the tree, and the fact, like, they have a big following. I'm like, I know. Whether I like them or not, or whether they're shady or not, they did for a limited amount of time. They put in some sort of consistent effort to get them where they are today. But yeah, I love what you're doing. Like, there's going to be people that listen to your podcast episodes 3 years from now, and it's going to open some door that you don't even think about. The
biggest viewed video right now is that Polycarp Nakamoto, and you actually introduced him to me.
Wow,
You and
man.
Flu, yeah.
Man.
So
shout out those guys.
Shout out Polycarp. He's building something great.
Yeah,
I haven't really talked to him recently. I was gonna hit him up because I wanted to actually have him back on, but no, man. Yeah, that's connections right there, just from networking. And I never even met Flu before.
And that's how I met you.
Yeah, that's how we met.
Yeah,
went and ate some fire Mexican. Shout out Flu again for finding that spot out there in Garland. But nah, man. Yeah, I love that. That's one thing. Somebody was like, oh, me personally, are you going to do a podcast where 4 people are sitting around bullshit and like just making jokes? And I'm like, I mean, yeah, it would be fun. I would love that. But I was like, I feel like my calling is to produce quality content for people to consume and learn from, because I would have loved to have been able to listen to podcasts 7 years ago about this stuff and get more intrigued and dive deeper in, and I'd probably be in a better position. But I'm not saying that I'm not in a good position, but still, you know what I mean? Like, it's all about, because I'm a guy, I'll read the manual, but I need to watch a video.
Yeah.
Gotta watch a video.
We all learn different ways.
Yeah, got to. So for them people that need to watch a video, We're gonna make them.
Man.
We're gonna make them. So plug your podcast. What is it?
Oh yeah, so just my Twitter handle and YouTube channel. Just type in LaRose Digital, and you'll find me on most socials.
LaRose Digital.
Yeah.
LaRoseDigital.
Flower Power Digital. You got it.
Flower Power Digital.
I'm just
That's
joking.
actually a good one. You should definitely
Maybe I should
lean
rebrand.
into that.
Yeah.
Rebrand a little bit before you blow up.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. And then what about events coming up in the Dallas area? Let me know about that.
Yeah, so January 29th, obviously every event I do, I promote, but I'm definitely very excited about this next meetup. So we're going to be interviewing a local company here in McKinney called Stuff.io. They put books.
That's Stuff or Steph?
Stuff.
Stuff, okay.
STUFF .io. So they put books, music, and film on chain. And then I'm also interviewing a guy who he wrote his own book, and then he also created his own publishing company.
Okay.
So I'm going to kind of like walk people through like what it's like to be an author, what it's like to be a publishing, and then what it's like to put books on chain.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited about this event because there's going to be crossover from authors to new Web3 people and Web3 professionals. So I'm very excited that this is going to be a good learning experience. Our past meetups, we've had Hedera, we've had Solana Foundation, we've had Proppy for like tokenization of real estate and like titles. So I feel like I have some fruit on the tree about like people I've had come out, like they've been successful. Yeah. So that these people, I'm trying to say, hey, like I'm vouching for them. Like I'm very excited about what they're putting together. Most people don't hear about putting books and music on chain.
And like I said earlier, Rolexes and stuff will be NFTs.
Yeah.
And this is the same concept. I assume they're just going to make an NFT for it or what?
Well, so if you look at it, like most, I don't know the numbers, but like say Snoop Dogg probably has billions of plays on Spotify. Yep. How much, if you go look at it, how much he's actually made?
I've seen it. We actually just talked about it the other day. It's 0.0037 per stream.
I don't know, but
it's something like that. It's insanely low.
The booking, the publishing model for books, for musicians and for artists and like film, like people are leveraging the blockchain to get more ownership.
Yep.
So
royalties.
Yeah. So I'll just say this about books. I'll just use this as an example. There's certain parts of the world where religious texts are banned, and then there's certain parts of Texas where religious communities have banned Harry Potter books. I don't think Harry Potter should be banned, but I've never read their books, but like both scenarios.
Me either, bro. Screw Harry Potter. Lord of the Ring fans over here, dog.
Bearish on Harry Potter, bullish on Lord of the Rings. But yeah, so yeah, something like that. Putting a book on blockchain, like you have the freedom to say what you want.
Yes.
Like typically in the history books, the victors who are the ones who write it. Now I don't have
it's not traditional. It is every time.
Absolutely, yeah.
The victor writes history books.
Yeah, I was trying to give some be more open to the.
There ain't no leeway to that, boy.
But I will say I don't have the answer to like how do you stop hate speech or human trafficking, like stuff. I don't have the answer for how blockchain, what filters you have to put in place for that. But I will say the freedom to speak and talk about what you want or to write a book, like the blockchain could be a use case. So that's why I'm very interested in interviewing them. So the next meetup I normally do fun events. The last meetup we just did at Arcade 92, we did a fun networking event. But this, again, how do we onboard new people in this space? We do educational events. And this is this is the next one we have coming up.
That's awesome. Okay, I'm definitely going to be attending that one. I already got it marked off on the calendar.
Hey, put you down.
Check.
You've been minted on the blockchain, sir.
I've been minted. Yeah, mint me. Dude, I might start minting my podcast on the blockchain.
Hey, you never know.
Hey, we'll probably have to bleep out what you said earlier, though.
Oh, about victors.
No. About just that one little word you said.
Religious text? I don't know.
Nah, you're good. You're good. But no, this has been a great talk, dude. Enjoyed you coming out. I appreciate you. And, I'm going to support you on your end. ELE Studios, follow all of our socials, subscribe, like, do all of those things. Please, please, please comment. I will comment back. We're trying to pump our numbers a little bit. You know that. We're going to run a giveaway at the beginning of the year to see if we can't, up our subscribers, give y'all a little bit of, enticement to come over there and subscribe to us on YouTube. Coming out on Spotify, all of those other streaming platforms soon. If you're looking to rent out a space in the DFW area, we are running promotions. right now on hourly. We're on Peerspace as well. So reach out to us. We'll work with you to bring a high quality product to your listeners. And yeah, you got anything else you wanna add?
No, I was just thank you for having me. I appreciate what you do, educating the masses on Web3 and blockchain. We need more people like you. So definitely support Ellis any way you can.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. It's been Ellis the Elephant, Matthew LaRose. That is LaRose Flower Power Digital. Okay, no, it's just LaRose Digital. We'll have it all in the comments. Like, subscribe. Thank y'all. It's been a great Elephant's Corner.